Preparing for season is one of our favorite things to do each year. Whether it is food plot creation, hanging stands, and trail cameras, or summer scouting, these are the things we live for. For pro staffer Brad Davidson, it is no different. Brad had an awesome result from all of his preparation last year when he harvested an old warrior on the family farm. This merely fueled the passion he has in his properties in southern Indiana.
My season starts each spring as I await a warming trend so I can begin getting my food plots in the ground. This year, that happened in late April, right before our Indiana turkey season. This season, I made the decision to expand my soybean plot on the family farm to better accommodate the browse pressure. Soybeans have proven to be a great attraction for the hit list bucks on this property. I also elected to establish a 1-acre perennial plot of frigid forage wild game buffet. I created a barrier to make the deer feel more comfortable feeding in the open by planting frigid forage plot screen around the perimeter of both plots. As we move closer to our season opener, the anticipation of another season builds, and the time to complete preseason preparation shrinks. Luckily, the weather cooperated and allowed me to get my fall plot completed. 1 acre of frigid forage autumn quick plot is in the ground and beginning to sprout. This plot also has frigid forage plot screen to provide a barrier from the normal human pressure of farm operations. This should make for excellent late season hunting. With the time to plant coming to an end, I have changed my focus to setting trail cams, hanging stands, and building a blind platform. I have hung my Muddy Pro cams in travel corridors, food plots, and trophy rock sites. I set an observation stand on the edge of my property, overlooking an ag field and transition area, heading towards a known bedding area. Finally, I built a platform for one of my ground blinds to give me a better vantage point of my food plot. With all the prep work completed, the next few weeks will be spent letting the property cool down as I await the first October cold front. This is only the beginning.
This year's special on the Kentucky farm. We were able to pick up the neighboring farm as a lease that allowed the pro staff to hunt jointly with Uriah and I. September 3rd marked the start of the Kentucky season. The first 2 days were fairly uneventful, although there were several sightings of deer on known patterns. On Labor Day, Uriah went to the stand site we created that you have heard over and over about called North Grown Up. He was excited to see some action. While the main targets, BLT and Trey, did not show up, it was promising to see the patterns we expected.
Hey, thanks for watching. It's Monday, September the 5th. Opening day in Kentucky was Saturday. So we're right at the forefront of it all. Everything's getting fired up everywhere. It's really awesome. We don't have the best conditions for hunting this particular spot, but because it's a little bit warm and the humidity is up a little higher than what we normally like. But we're at the edge of this big field. We call it the grown-up field. We're in the northern part. It's North Grown-up is what we call it. And we're right at the edge of it. So we're not necessarily putting ourselves in the action, but it's great because we can come right in here and exit really easily. Hardly ever a deer goes behind us due to the residential area back there. And, like I said, we're not really putting ourselves in the ball game. It's a small chance, but it's great because it's essentially scouting, but also hunting at the same time. And if we get on a really good pattern, and it's just out of bow range, we may move up a little bit to take a chance. There's plenty of food here. We got forage soybeans, we've got frigid forage, it's an autumn quick plot blend. It's like an acre's worth of food here. There's plenty of ag beans out to my left, which is the east. Winds hit me in the face from the south. Pretty much a bulletproof spot with that particular type of wind. I mean, as long as I don't break something or drop my bow out of the stand, it's pretty Hey, thanks for watching. It is Thursday, September the 8th. We have a little bit of warm temperatures here in northern Kentucky. I think it's 91 was the high today. Relatively low humidity is at 50% right now, and it's been dropping throughout the day. Normally I really wouldn't hunt these conditions, except for the fact that we have a really good low pressure, low impact hunting location. And basically we're just set up at the edge of a transition area. It's an area we call North Grown Up. My hunting partner, Joe Bosing, has already talked about that area. We brought in the soft-sided redneck blind, put it up on a stand. We have a little dip there. We were just going to put it on the ground, but we have a little dip there in the spot that I wanted to set it in, so we had to get a stand. Works well both ways. It's a really neat blind. I've already hunted this spot already. It was Monday I went out and hunted it. The conditions were a little bit better than they were today, and we actually had, I just went out by myself, I actually had some really good action. A couple 3-year-olds came by. One I wasn't able to film for but a second or two. And had a lot of activity overall. Seen a few does and a fawn way out in the field. Seen about 6 bucks. But I'm gonna go out there and sit and watch the deer again tonight.
On September 11th, Uriah heads back to the bulletproof stand for another evening hunt. Uriah has high hopes that he will encounter one of his hitless bucks on this Kentucky farm. This evening hunt did not disappoint as BLT entered the field. Although BLT did not present an opportunity for an ethical shot, Uriah and Joe are confident there will be more encounters to come with the mature buck they call BLT.
As Kentucky's season begins, we are waiting for the perfect weather opportunity to make our move. The waiting game becomes harder and harder for these weather conditions as our October obsession continues to flame.